Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky194, and appreciate you taking the time out of your day to stop in and visit and check out my video. And we are here at Monza doing a race setup. Now this is definitely going to be a little bit longer video, so grab you a drink, get comfortable, sit down and relax. And this is going to be, I'm going to want to go through a couple different setups, and I want to have a little bit different balance between both setups. That way you can pick and choose what balance fits you best. So basically, I'm not sure what I'm going to call this one yet. I'll decide after I make the other one. But basically, this one, the one I like about it is the performance is good, not great, but good. But it's very drivable, very consistent, and I started out with 80 liters, so you can see I'm down to like 49, and I'm down. After this lap, it's like 45 or something like that, or 43 or something, whatever. But it's down almost to half a tank. So it really, really is very drivable car. So again, a raceable car, and also the temperatures are like 26, 28, and also you got no drafting. And with the Porsche, if you can have somebody that you can draft and pick up a couple miles an hour, oof, I mean, you can pick up a half a second really, really easy, just for the fact that the Porsche, that's where it loses most of its time, is in the straightaways. So again, it really is a balanced, and it has great tire wear also. So it really checks a lot of boxes. So again, I think it's a really solid, good setup. And of course, I'll have another one that's a little bit different than this one, and has a little bit different character than this one. So let's make a lap. Like I said, this is like the 11th lap or so or something. That's why it's gone from, I started at 80, now I'm down to 49. So again, tires are definitely not fresh, and this is far from a perfect lap. The lap before that, I was in the grass, so it gave me, it was a legal lap. That's why it was still a 149.95. You can see my fast is a 149.61. So that's my fast lap. See here, I go through there decent. Could be a little better. Hit the dirt a little bit. No big deal though. It really goes through here well. Decent speed, 161. And of course, like I said, it's doing 166, barely clicking 166 at the end of the front straightaway. So again, for the Porsche, that's really good. Let's see what it does down the end of this straightaway also. That's a 149.670. Again, like 166. Makes that no problem. But again, I really think that it's a solid setup. Only like 600ths, not even 600ths from my fast lap. And this is like the 11th lap. So again, it doesn't really get any more consistent than that. And plus the wear is very, very good. As far as it's only got light graining on the front, and that's it. And the wear numbers are very close. So again, it really checks a lot of boxes. Now, I mean, I would like it to be maybe a few tenths faster, and that'd be a little bit more in the mix. But again, you know, to the conditions, maybe this would be, you know, very good. So, and also, like I said, when you get a bunch of other cars mixed in and you're drafting, you know, it changes a lot of aspects of the race. It does. So again, it's why a lot of times I'll do these tests and I'll actually do a race with the AI because to see what happens, because it does make a big difference. But again, it'll draft very well. You know, the car's, you know, not like it's got high downforce or anything. But again, this is this setup, and then we'll come back and we'll go over the next one. Alrighty, got another setup for everyone, and it's just a little bit different than the last one that we've shown. So we'll go over this, and then we will go over each setup in detail. We'll start with, I don't know if I should go in the car or behind the car. Let's go, I guess, behind the car. Do that here, this lap. Now this is the 12th lap. Started again with, well, not the 12th, this is the 10th lap of this fuel load. So we had the 10th lap of this fuel load, with starting out with 80 liters. So now this has got a little bit more downforce than the last one. Just one more click of wing. So check the speed. 165. Back. See where the braking is. Right at the 150. Just maybe before it. You'll see the next time we go, it's actually up into it with the lighter fuel load. So again, you can, as your fuel comes off, you can go a little deeper, but you can see the speed, 165. So that's 1 mile an hour off of the other one. The other one barely clicked, just 166. So this one's 165. So that's, like I said, 1 mile an hour. Again, try to take it wide there and cut it back. Try to get a good drive going through here. And of course, it's right up to the orange marker. Again, I go into a little bit deeper in this next one. So again, this is what's, you know, you can see them all the way down to 48 liters. But I mean, you know, I started with 80. So, you know, the tires do have some wear on them. So again, you'll see with the fresher tires, you can go a little bit farther in, but still pretty decent. Stay wide and cut it across. Again, I just go down to first because it just seems to rotate better that way. And if I can cut through here, you know, really good, I try to get up into second as quick as I can. So I didn't do the greatest job there. Here, again, right there at the orange marker on the right there, downshift 1, hug it, and run it right out wide. Get on the gas as soon as you can. Just past the 50, so I'm just past it. I'm just on the brake. Again, this is a lot of timing. You're on the brakes for, you know, pretty much on the brakes, boom, you're off. And of course, downshift 1 gear. Now this, you can go over the curb on this. It's fine. You know, just try not to hit it too hard, but if you run over it, it shouldn't be an issue. I mean, you see there, I just missed it, but I did run over a little bit of it more before, and it seemed to do fine. See, the car slid just a little bit. And up here, Again, by the orange, just past it. You know, I'm looking at the 100 pretty much, but it's between this orange and the 100. Down to third. Cut it across right here. And try to cut it across so you can get a good angle, so you can go left and right. Now you can see that I'm on these curbs, which is not as fine as long as you're not on them too hard. A couple times I got them a little bit too much, which upset the car, but it didn't crash, so that's a good thing in case you do go over them, you know, fighting out with somebody. So it's very raceable. It can go over some curbs and not have major issues. Might slow you down a little bit, but again, you don't crash as long as you really don't hit them with the tires and not the undercarriage. Now this bump, you want to be careful. Again, if you just nick it, it's fine, but try to stay away from this big, huge sausage and all that. I mean, again, this car, you know, it's pretty stiff, so it just doesn't take it the greatest. Again, between the 100 and the 50, going down shift to third. You know, hug it tight. And let it get on the gas and bring it out wide. Like I said, it was like the 10th lap on this fuel load and tires. That was a 149.58. So a little faster than the other one. And then we will go to the fast lap. Now I simulated a pit stop like I usually do. I basically set it at 40 liters. That's half a tank of, half of 80, and set that so it was basically like making a fuel stop. So now, the front end has come up a little bit and things like that, just to test it and see how it reacts, with a lighter fuel load, like a pit stop. This setup I really even like more than the other one. They're both have a little bit differences, but you can tell this one has a little bit more mid-corner speed than the other one does, and a little bit better braking performance. But the other one has just that teeny bit more speed on the straightaway, and I mean you're only talking a mile an hour. So I mean, again, they're not far apart, but there are some differences. And I'm going to try to work on our low downforce setup and see if I can make one decent, but it's, again, it really doesn't fit the Porsche. And these still don't have that much wing in it. That was a 149.10. So again, it picked up like I wanted it to pick up. And actually, I had a 148.9 in my Delta. I just couldn't, if I kept trying, maybe I could get it. But it's basically a high 48, low 49 car. If you, at a pit stop, and that's right about where it should be. And that's but it's really solid. You're not on the ragged edge as far as loose and things. So again, you can push it, you can attack with it, and all those kinds of things. I really like that. You can see I slid it a little bit too much there. I was really, trying to see what the car would do. Now we're gonna go before we go to the setups, I'm going to show you this just a straightaway. Now, I was trying to see what it would do with a low downforce. Now, this has only got a 3 wing, but the other ones have a 4 and a 5. So this has got, you know, from the one we just watched, it's 2 less. You see, it is 166 solid. So again, you know, maybe, you know, not quite 167, but you know, it's still so it's 166, and right, a solid 166 is not barely touching it. I mean, it actually stays on there for a, you know, a couple tenths. So I mean, it's probably 166.5 or 6 or 7 or something. So I mean, it's probably a mile an hour, mile and a half faster than the setup we just watched, and that's the difference between a 3 wing and a 5 wing. So again, but you know, it's still roughed in. But the thing is, I wasn't running near as fast because you're giving up a ton of mid corner speed. You're giving up a little bit in the braking, and you're giving up in the corner. So again, it's how do you want to attack Monza? So, you know, it makes it tough because, yeah, you might get 166 or something, but you're still never going to be up where a Lamborghini is, or, you know, a Ferrari or whatever. They're going to be up near 168 to 170. So no matter what you do, there's no way you're going to be able to do that and still be able to make, you know, halfway decent handling. So again, I just think this is a really good setup, the one we looked at before. So let's go over those, and I will show you the timetables. You can see all the laps I've done. Now this is just this one, not including the other one that we just, you know, this is a whole separate. So again, you see there's the fast lap. You can see there I actually had another 1/10 of a second right there, and that's with a heavy fuel load. So I actually had a faster third sector with a heavier fuel load. So that's what I'm saying. It's definitely there, and there's another 1/10 of a second there. There's another 1/10 of a second, almost. So again, that's why I say I had a high 48 in my Delta and just couldn't put it together in that third sector. But it's, you know, and that's with no drafting, and you can see the temperature, mid-20s. It's 24 and 26. So that's, you know, a low 49, a high 48, low 49 with no drafting and mid-20s. So again, that's, you know, that's pretty solid for me anyway. And it really felt good doing it. Almost like you don't want to stop because the car just felt really, really good. I mean, it's just, you can really blast through the middle of the corner. I like that with the Porsche. Felt really good around Lesmo 1 and 2. I mean, you could really get through there. So let's go over the setups. I know everybody's been waiting. So what we're gonna do, so I don't get these confused, because I got the wrong, this is the one I don't want. We're going to go over this one first. Okay. Now this is the one we saw on the first part of this video. So that's this one. Okay? So this is the lower downforce one. This is the one that, like I said, that we watched before. We got 25.1 left front and 25.6 left rear, 26.4, which you can say 26.5 right front and right rear. The toes at negative 0.02 with the camber at negative 3.6 on the left front, negative 3.5 on the right front with the caster at 9. The toe on the rear is positive 0.1 with the camber at negative 3 on the left rear and negative 2.9 on the right rear. Now, you can up this one if you like on both the negative camber. You can go up to 3.7, 3.1. That should be no problem. I don't think it makes a major difference, but it's, you know, you can do that. Electronics are 3, 4, and 3. Of course, fuel, I had 80 liters. 4 on the anti-roll bar, 51 on the brake bias. You can go down to 50. Steering ratio, you can between 13 and 14. So I'm going to go down to 13, but you can pretty much keep it between 13 and 14. Springs in the front are 127,000 with a bump stop rate of 500 and a bump stop range of 1. And on the rear, the springs are 187,000 with a bump stop rate of 400 and a bump stop range of 5. The anti-roll bar is 2 and the preload on the diff is 70. Okay. The shocks are 2, 1, 4, 3 on the left front and 2, 1, 5, 3 on the right front. The shocks in the rear are 1, 1, 3, 2 on both sides. And again, these were all dialed in by Motec the best I could. To be honest, I wish they could be closer. They just, you know, you just don't have a lot of options with where it is. You do the best you can, get as close as you can, and that's about it. And we will look at it with the other setup because that's the more recent one, so we'll look at that. As far as the graph. So the arrow, we got 54 in the front, 68 in the rear with a 5 splitter, a 4 wing, and a 2 in the brake ducts. And the front arrow variation is a 7.0 to the positive. So again, I mean, it's only got a 4 wing. The one I showed you that still I have roughed in, but I'd like to see if I could get a 3 wing to work. But you can't give away so much in the corners, and right now it just gives away too much. But I'll see what I can do with that, or maybe make it a qualifying run. I was thinking about doing something like that too. Maybe trying to make a qualifying run with a little bit lower downforce. Maybe you can only, you're only worried about getting maybe a couple laps. Maybe, but you definitely have to hang on to it. But I might even think about doing something like that also, so I might work on that also. But these are good, solid setups. I really believe these are really good. So again, everything else here is you saw, is super consistent all the way through. I was really happy with that. All the way, even when the tires were worn. You can dial this down to 50 without an issue at all, even into 49s. So that's not an issue. So again, just be a little bit more careful when you get down to 49s. Try not to trail brake too much because the back end will want to come around. So that is that setup. Now we are going to, and I'm going to go ahead and name it right here, so y'all can see it. And actually, I'm going to put medium downforce. That'll be the MD. Okay, so that again, the MD stands for medium downforce, and the next one I'll put high downforce. So I'll put HD. So that's that one. The next one, this is the most recent. This is the one we watched. No, this is not the one. Yeah, this one. Okay, so that's this one. So again, we got 25.1 left front, 25.6 left rear, and 26.5 right front and right rear. Toes negative 0.02 with the camber at negative 3.7 on the left front, negative 3.5 on the right front, and the caster at 9. The toe on the rear is a positive 0.1 with the camber at negative 3.1 on the left rear and negative 2.9 on the right rear. Now, again, the reason I run probably a little bit more negative camber is you're carrying more corner speed through the middle of the corner. So you're using more of that tire because you're carrying, you can feel the difference. I mean, you really can. I mean, between the two setups, I could feel you could just rock it through the middle of the corner, where the other one you just can't because it doesn't want to rotate as good through there. So again, just different setups. So I can run just a little bit more negative. You could try that on the other one, but I really don't think it's going to help because the spread wasn't where it needed to be anyway. Electronics are 3, 3, and 3. So 3, 3, 3 on that one. Fuel, of course, 80 liters. Now, let's see. You can see this is the longer run here. You see, I mean, I did like 10 laps. And you can see that you only got light graining on the front. And look at the wear. I mean, it's not bad at all. I mean, that's the left side, the wear side, is really close. The right side's a little bit farther apart, but still, it's more towards the rear. I'm really happy with it. I'm tickled to death as far as I'm concerned, because the Porsche, with the way it changes with on the front, I'm good with that. I'm satisfied. So onto the mechanical. Got 4 on the anti-roll bar, starting off with a 51 brake bias, and as soon as the tires get, after a couple laps, you can go to 50 and then 49. Steering's 13. Springs are 127,000 with a bump stop rate of 500 and a bump stop range of 1. And the springs in the rear are 187,000 with a bump stop rate of 400 and a bump stop range of 5. Anti-roll bar is 3, and the preload on the diff is 80. So again, you can take advantage of a little bit more downforce in the rear, a little bit more sway bar, a little bit more diff to hook it up, to grip, going through the middle of the corner. I didn't really get crazy with the springs because the balance seemed pretty good. You could try a 190, go up 1 click, but to be honest, you could try it to see what it does. But it's the big thing. I didn't want to get into big slides later on. And going over some of the sausages, I didn't want to upset the car dramatically, so that's why I didn't want that. And I got the bump stops pretty tight, so that's why I'd rather go on the loose or the softer side on the spring side. The shocks again are the same. You got 2143 on the left front and 2153 on the right front, and 1132 on the rear. Now let's check Motec, which I don't think I haven't even looked. Recently, because there's really not a lot you can do. It's on the right. It's on the fastest lap, so you can see there. It's not bad. It's 47, 48. That's a little high. That's like 52. So again, it's a little high, but you can't really come down. That's 48, 49. That's 48, 9, 49, 3. So again, not real bad. A little higher here, but. That's 49, a little over 50. So again, a little over 50, but it's not too bad. Again, they all are not terrible. I would like them to be closer than that, but there's not a lot of adjustment to get them that much closer. So you get to a point where you can't really do a lot more. So again, the graphs aren't terrible. I would like an improvement, but that's the best I could get them as far as getting how close they could get. So that's those. That's the Motec. Aero. Now a little bit, and again, this is different than the other. I got 53 all the way down in the front, 67 in the rear with a 5 splitter, a 5 wing, and a 2 in the brake ducts. And the front aero variation is a 7.0 to the positive. Basically the same as the other one. The big difference is this has 1 more wing than the other, but this one also is all the way down in the front. So again, that's where the balance of the car changes, and I like that because this is going to come up. As you can see, it's at 53, and you go all the way to only 3 liters, and it comes all the way to 56. So that dramatically changes the balance of the car, because now look at that. Now you're only at a 4.9 to the positive. So you lost over 2 points in front aero variation. So again, it makes a difference. That's why I want it as far down as I can, so the balance doesn't go dramatically terrible. And also that's why I wanted to check it with a lower fuel load to see how it was. And of course, I ran my fastest lap, and I ran it down to like 20 something liters or something. So I ran down pretty far. So again, and it was staying pretty consistent in the lower 49s, 49.10, 49.30, 40. It was just it was all around there, even with the worn tires. So again, I'm really happy with it, and of course I will put both links in the description. And again, any comment or feedback is appreciated. I mean, I love talking to all my sim racing friends, and if you have any questions about the setup or something like that, I mean, I'll do the best I can to help answer them. There we go. So you got, 1 and 1's 8.2 and the other one's 8.3, and then that's medium downforce and that's high downforce. And that's what I'll call it, because I don't think you could really go any higher wing without losing performance. You basically, you go over the pyramid. You basically go over the top and start going worse, because you just can't make up any more time through the corners or enough in braking zones. So you'd lose too much going down the straightaway. I mean, you start, 1 mile an hour is bad enough, but you start losing 2 or 3, and that starts being too much to overcome. So basically, or 2 or 3 more than what it would on the other setup. I'm not talking about to another car. I'm talking to yourself. So again, you're losing. A Porsche loses 3 to 5 almost at every track, pretty much with any decent straightaway. So, but I'm talking from one setup to another, you could be losing 2 or 3 miles an hour, and it's not gonna. You can't. That's too hard to make up. So again, if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. And I hope you give me a like and subscribe, and really helps to support the channel. Really could help it, use it. And I appreciate we're getting over 4,800 subscribers. That's great, and keep growing. And I do the best that I can. I mean, again, I make mistakes. I'm not perfect, but I try to. Anytime I find improvements, I try to pass it on, and always try to, always never satisfied. Always keep trying to improve the content, the setups, everything. It's never ending. I always trying to improve. So I sure hope you all enjoyed it, and come back and visit again really soon. Y'all take care. See ya.